for instance, Jamie Foy's Pro line. Jamie Foy is the first person to have his name on a Dickies pant besides Dickies.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
So, pretty cool.
Okay.
Stuff like that.
Groundbreaking shit.
Right.
Yeah, we're trying, like, just skating. You know,
I mean,
like,
much deserved for him, too.
Oh, he's the best skater.
Yeah.
Period.
And
So,
there's not a
agree.
lot of clothing companies in skateboarding, like what Volcom, Dickies, like specifically clothing in
Not
the
surviving, you're right.
Yeah.
Well, that's
like-
the thing. I was actually going to bring that up.
Yeah.
Back in the day, there used to be so many clothing companies. 4-Star, Maddox.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't even like name anymore, but yeah.
Well, you know, but there was.
No,
there was.
LRG
How
back-
about
I mean,
How about
LRG 's-
Limpies?
There
You
was.
know?
There was quite a few Limpy.
It was a
No, but there,
Even Billabong and all that stuff back then.
Hurley,
was in- Hurley.
Hurley had a thing.
Yeah.
Billabong had a thing. Quicksilver. had a thing.
Quicksilver.
Quicksilver's jeans were good as shit, man. I loved them. They were expensive. I waited for them to go on sale, but they were good. Yeah.
Crew. There's a lot.
There was
a lot of.
Altamont. There was a bunch.
There was a lot of clothing
Yeah.
companies.
I
back
mean,
then.
I guess it's like I'm not really sure what the reason is for the lack thereof, but we've always kind of had this thing where we're going to make stuff that's reasonably priced that people can skate in and kind of be hyped on. And that's kind of like the whole thing. And then we've always tried to, or what I've wanted to do is just kind of make sure that we celebrated our skaters. That's why so many of them have had like pro lines or something to that effect, where there's at least something to be recognized, like who they are for what they do.
right. Right. No, I
So-
love it, man. It's
And
great.
Dickies doesn't have any other sectors like beyond skateboarding, right? Like as far as like sports or athletes.
No,
That's it.
We have a few ambassadors, but they're like one-off kind of. The majority of the brand ambassadors are the skaters.
That's so sick.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So
When we go, can we go back to the honeymoon video really quick? Because I just had a thought, like Jamie Foy
yeah,
filming. Did you film Jamie Foy a lot? Or yeah?
He's always gone.
Is he?
Was he always? Was he
Dude.
even here? You guys filmed a lot of that footage. Probably what? Maybe a year before.
Well, the reason I brought it
Maybe,
up is
yeah.
because wasn't he working on the Baker or the Death Wish
Yeah.
video at the same
Yeah,
time?
he worked. He was working
Was
on
he?
4 videos at once. So
And
he
that's
was
in a span of what? 2 years.
2.5 years.
2.5
Yeah.
years, yeah.
So the first trip we went on was November of 21, I think. I think it was 2021.
Where'd you guys go?
Atlanta.
Oh.
Was that when he did that? The fakey front crook?
That was the first time he tried it.
Oh.
So I bet him $100 to stick it first try, and he did, and he broke his board, and then it got dark, and we had to leave. But most of his Atlanta footage was from that first trip, and then
Is that the last clip in his video part?
the last clip. So that was the last trick that was actually filmed for the video. Like I was like, you have to go to Atlanta and just do it, just get it out of your system, do it. And then he went with Bob and Sam, and I think he did it in like what did Bob say, like 8 minutes?
Yeah.
Seriously?
they
Something
they
like
flew
that?
in.
So fun.
Yeah, they flew
Went
in,
straight to the spot.
flew in straight to the spot. He did it. He flew home. That was it. Within 12 hours.
I love
So
this.
sick.
Is this
So
it right here?
crazy.
Is this what we're
I
talking
love
about?
it.
Yeah, the fakey front crook.
Fakey
Or the
Actually,
fakey.
so
what would we call this? A fakey salad grind? Who gives a shit, right?
We're not calling fakey
Oh
salad.
gosh. Here we go.
What's that thing called? That's called the Beast or something?
Cyclops.
The Cyclops rail.
Cyclops rail. Yeah,
So that was the first clip that he filmed for the video.
that was the last trick he
last
filmed for the
trick.
video.
Last trick.
That was the last trick anybody filmed for the video.
I thought he filmed his last trick first. Did I not hear that correctly?
That was the first. No, the first trip he tried his last trick.
the first trip he filmed his last trick. Or he tried his last trick. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So
Huh.
that's cool.
Yeah. But I was just going to say, like, he's filming for Death Wish video. He's filming for Dickies. What other 2 videos was he filming for at the time?
New Balance and Red
New
Bull.
Balance and Red Bull.
And he
How
had
do
the
you-
other part too with the Spitfire thing that's kind of thrown.
I
Even
feel
though
like
it was,
that's like throwaway, right?
it's not
definitely was
throwaway.
not
but
For
throwaway.
Jamie Foy, that's dude.
I would say it's extra footage.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Not
Yeah.
throwaway
That's a nice way to
crazy.
put
Yeah,
it there,
it's extra.
Kev.
It's
Yeah.
not throwaway at all. Yeah. I mean, with that stuff, like, so that one we kind of like talked to Spitfire, and I was like, hey, like, we have this footage, and Jamie wanted to put together a Spitfire part. So like, if you watch the end of it, it's like supported by Dickies. Like we made sure that they had the footage to
okay.
put that video part out. Because Foy was adamant that he wanted to have that go out into the world.
yeah,
He
so
knew he. I mean,
He knew what he was doing.
yeah,
yeah.
that year. So 2023.
Yeah.
At the end of that year, going into 2024, are you guys like, hey, all together, let's push for Jamie to go Skater of the Year this year? Is that kind of the goal at that point?
like,
I feel-
is there a conversation between all the companies?
We never spoke brand to brand. We never talked about it in like a level where we were like, hey, like, let's do this push. Because Honeymoon was supposed to come out in June of 23, and it didn't because Jamie was done, or like majority done, and a lot of people had to play catch up. That was first try. And so, like, it just happened to work out. Like, Baker Has a Death Wish came out in January. And I was talking to New Balance. I was like, when are you guys going to try and go out, like, put out? And they were like, oh, we'll put it out in October. I was like, all right, well, we have to put ours out before that. Because, like, I knew what he was doing for New Balance.
You knew that was a heavier part than the Dickies video.
We knew that,
It's
right?
pretty crazy, yeah.
It is. It's not.
Because this part's not light by any means. Like, his Dickies part is not.
No, not at
Like-
all.
And how are you knowing what he's going out and doing? Are you
He's
seeing
showing
the-
me.
Oh, he's showing you all the stuff.
For-
that
yeah,
he's
for-
filming for New Balance.
Floyd will show, like, he'll show you. Like, if
Right.
I'm like, what happened on that trick? He's like, oh, I did that. I'm like, let me see. And then he'll text it to me or
okay.
show it to me.
He's always been like that.
Yeah, he doesn't care.
No.
It's just
Not
another
secret
day.
squirrel about his footage and shit. Like,
No,
he's
it's
like,
just
nah,
another
check
day
it
for
out.
him, man.
Yeah.
So,
So there is kind of, well, is that a SOTY thing that you guys are talking about, or is just like planning out? Hey, we don't want to drop the video on the same day that you guys are dropping it, so let's spread this out a little bit.
we were trying to spread it out from them a little bit. We didn't want to put our video out in like November, December. You know what I mean? We were trying to be like, okay, let's get the summer push. And he didn't want to put his stuff out like too deep into the SOTY season anyway, or SOTY season, whatever the fuck. Sure. So it was just like one of
What do
those
you mean he
ones.
didn't want to put it out too deep into it? Why? Like
He didn't want it
I
to
mean,
get lost in
you're
the sauce.
speaking for him, obviously, but
I mean, I'm right. Like that's kind of what he was talking about. Kind of didn't
Yeah, I
want
feel
to
like,
get
yeah.
lost in the sauce. I don't think.
Because everyone's dropping parts later in the year. Videos
Yeah.
coming out like cool in the middle. At least he shines in his
I mean,
own way from the
when
Dickies video.
when did they put intervals out? Was it like it premiered in October and I think it was like out the first week in November, right?
Yeah.
Something like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
So he was like the beginning of that and wasn't like getting kind of lost, but like it just so happened that all of those video parts like worked out because I think New Balance was supposed to be the year before too, and I think whatever. But then I know that he's working on that Red Bull, like a Red Bull thing right now, and that's going to come out like in like a couple months.
Really?
So,
Wow.
like he's going nuts still right now.
Yeah.
well, he's just. I also feel like, yeah, he may have a little plan in his head of SOTY and everything, but like
It's hopeful,
he's just
yeah.
a skater. Like he's just going out and skating. He without a SOTY or without video. I feel like he'd just be doing the same shit.
He's still gonna do it.
He's doing the
still
same
gonna do it.
shit.
It's crazy.
Dude, he what was it? When did you guys go to that rail? Like where he was just fucking around that he did the kicky crook. It was like some weekend, just like a random weekend.
Random weekend.
Like
What was it?
It was.
It
this is-
hasn't came out yet.
Yeah,
Oh, it hasn't. Okay,
Yeah.
well, tell us, describe it for us, so we know.
It's this rail and it's big, and he happened to just be there skating with like the rest of our friends who were there, and he just happened to do a gnarly trick just because he was like right in front of it.
Right.
There's no. That's what he loves to do.
Yeah.
But
I'm
he's
speaking
also-
too much for him. But
You know,
yeah.
I get it. But it's so interesting to hear an outside perspective rather than him talking about it.
Dude,
it's
he's-
rad to hear like a filmer and a team, just who witness it.
He's
you know?
the fucking best.
He is.
I've been saying that for a long time.
He is-
I think he
he really
is
is.
right now the best
He is the
skateboarder.
best.
I get a lot of people. Oh God, he just get off his nuts. But he could do anything he wants,
can.
dude. Anything.
He can. I went to Portugal with him for what was it, a week?
Yeah, 7 days, something like that.
He's insane.
How many how much footage did you get in that week? Roughly like timeline.
And he came back with like 3 minutes.
Yeah,
No,
yeah,
just
right.
like,
Like
imagine.
the whole part. Like what's going on?
I mean, some of the tricks are in the Spitfire part.
Okay.
Some tricks are in the Dickies part. But he is the way he navigates and works. He's like probably one of the best.
He's calculated.
Yeah, he's calculated.
Right.
How did
And he's fearless. He doesn't care.
Yeah.
I'm like, are you scared? He's like, no. I'm like, what the?
yeah, how do you film with him? Like, is there certain people are like, everyone be quiet or
Oh,
like
no,
whatever.
no,
like,
no.
is he? What's it like with him? With you and him?
I like to mess around, so I'm like a big troll. So he knows. He knows. Like, so I always fuck around. He's just like, Kev, stop. I always like
Really?
messing around.
Even if
Yeah.
he's gonna do like a big trick, you're still kind of like lightening the mood up a little bit, right?
Yeah. I just have a
Okay.
good time.
Right.
Laugh.
Yeah.
I don't want to be too serious.
Sure. It's
I hate like sitting there like a mouse. Like,
Yeah,
okay,
shit
you
sucks.
got it.
right.
All
right.
tense and shit.
And
I
especially
can't do that.
if you guys are friends and
Yeah,
you're hyping each other up
exactly,
and
yeah.
stuff like
But
that.
because you're from Florida, like, where you grew up close to him?
No, I've never. I think I'd seen him at Tampa, maybe skating a contest when I was filming like one of the Tampa contests for like ESPN, and I seen him maybe 1 or 2 years in a row. But He was South Florida. I was kind of like in Orlando, so that's Central.
Yeah.
I never met him until like out here.